All right, guys, Triarius Wargaming here. So just making a quick update video. We are now, at this point, 30 days until the big game. 30 days till Historicon. So I've commandeered this table, and this is giving me an opportunity to basically lay out all of the finished project stuff and some of the work in progress stuff, orders that have come in, etc. So over here we've got the finished Roman stuff. I know that I've shown this before on an army whatever showcase video, but I'll just show you again really quick. Things are organized kind of roughly into their command. So over here we've got the first kind of frontline division of 6 units, and what I've decided, plus their commander, what I've decided is the archers, all the archers that I've done should be attached to the legions, and I think that'll just simplify play. I mean, that is a unit type in the game. Legions can have the archers attached to them. I think that'll just speed things up, and it'll just be less units to control. And, it is historically based as well. So that is our frontline division. What we're doing with the cavalry is we're going to have 2 cavalry divisions. So the first one is going to be the light cavalry plus the regular heavy cavalry. So I did 2 of these units. Ranger has done a 3rd heavy cavalry unit, which we'll add in. And then the light units, he has done the same number of lights as me as well. So there'll be another 12 horse archers and another 12 javelin light horsemen, the Dalmatian cavalry. So that division will be slightly expanded upon, or increased by basically double. And here's a commander I have who can serve as a cavalry commander. So then, we have got the cataphracts. So Ranger has done 3 units of cataphracts, so we'll have a total of 5. So there'll be a cataphract division as well. So still need a commander for that division, or we'll see if Ranger has one. I've got some options, which I'll show you in a minute in this video. So the artillery, was there artillery at the battlefield? How much was artillery used? Probably not a lot. But I painted them up, so they might as well go with the baggage, I think. They can just be hanging out with the baggage. Probably won't really play a significant role in the battle or anything. Okay, and then we've got the Julian's division. So Ranger painted up a pretty good emperor. Julian was only Caesar at the time of the battle. He wasn't emperor yet, but I think that figure could work pretty well as a commander. I also have some options, and we'll go through that in a moment. But yeah, pretty similar in composition to the other unit, but the other division, but I didn't attach any archers to it. And then finally, I actually made a mistake. I actually painted an extra unit of auxiliaries. This is kind of like a more militia-y type unit, or Limitani unit, border guard troop type unit. So this unit, I think, will fit well with one of Ranger's divisions, which is like this auxiliary only division, Severus's division. So I think that could fit in well there. I mean, otherwise, I guess it could be added to one of my divisions too. Whatever, doesn't really matter. Okay, so that is the Roman forces that have been completed. Now we got some of the more work in progress stuff. So I do have, okay, those are the Germans that are totally completed. Basically, for like the painted models to end up on the table, they've got to be basically what is on this table. What I'm trying to say is stuff that I'm not working on right at this second, or stuff that is totally done. If it needs some kind of touch-up work or slight additions to it, it's not going on the table until it's totally done, or unless it's just like models that need to more done. Models that I'm not working on right at this second. Excuse me. So Germans that are totally completed, no varnishing, no touch-ups, whatever. We've got 2 units of cavalry and a bunch of skirmisher types, some potential commanders or heroes, whatever. We'll see, you know, it's always good to have extra stuff like that. So I've got 2 units of cavalry totally done. I've got 1 on the workbench outside. I think we're gonna actually need another unit of cavalry, 4 units of cavalry. So here we have the late Roman unarmored cavalry from Victrix. So I have a bunch of metal armored Gothic type cavalry, but really that is unpainted, unassembled. But really for this battle, the armored noble is dismounted on the German side. So I think we'll kind of kit bash these guys into German cavalry by sticking German heads on them, maybe some German arms and whatnot. I think shields, I think that'll actually work pretty well. So I'm actually gonna try and get these assembled tonight because I really gotta get priming with a bunch of this stuff so I can just crank it out. Here we have got foundry metal Germans. These are generic warriors. We got to get these assembled and primed ASAP. So these are archers, Germanic-y Gothic type archers who I'd painted before. They got ruined with bad varnishing, so I stripped them. And I think, I don't know, something about these figures, they just don't really look very good to me. We'll see how many of these get used, but they're here as an option. I'm going to re-prime them, repaint them. Okay, here we've got Germanic archers by Foundry. Awesome. The idea is to mix them in, but I only want to mix the cream of the crop of these with the Foundry models because the Foundry ones are just so nice. We've got some young warriors here. Foundry does a pack of youths. So these are going to be skirmishers. Okay, then we've got Germanic women. Foundry does an awesome set of Germanic women. Those are going to go with the baggage, the Germanic baggage, and we have German casualties. So I ordered a bunch of casualties from different suppliers as well. I think these casualties, I think they'll add something to the battlefield. So we got to mass produce some casualties as well. Okay, so now we got some Roman options. Oh, yeah, so you saw these cards too. What I also have here is a bunch of resin baggage type stuff that the supplier is this company called Bajua. They make these like resin baggage elements, but there's an amphorae and sacks of grain and chests and stuff like that. I think that'll be good to like put on the wagons, put on the ground, etc. Okay, so here we've got some different officer types, and I've got some Aventine miniatures too that can work well as officers. So, all right, so these are Roman casualties from First Corps. They're technically 3rd century, but I think they'll work fine. I've got some more late Roman casualties inbound as well. Okay, this guy, I started working on this over a year ago at this point, never finished it. Not sure, if I can get this done. I think that'd be cool. I'm not sure what role this could play in the game. So this is like a dying commander from Westwind Miniatures. It's sold as the Death of Arthur. It's a really cool figure. Still, this is still very much work in progress, needs highlighting and whatnot. But this, I think, in the game, to the strongest rules, commanders can get wounded. That could be a sub option for a commander who gets wounded, or maybe they can just be a guy chilling with the baggage. Not sure. Okay, so potential Roman commanders. So this is a footsore Roman commander who initially was going to be a Germanic, but I decided to send him over to the dark side, the Roman side. So he's just on this base as a temporary measure because I needed to use it for something. He's going to add some guys with him, so he could do a variety of things. He could be another infantry commander. He could be a cavalry commander, depending on what we need. These are some medals from Gripping Beast, which I don't love them, but there's some kind of like armored guys in here who potentially could be standard bearers. This armored musician is kind of a useful figure. So these could potentially go on a command base in some capacity. Okay. Okay, this figure is a gripping beast guy I've had for literally years, over 10 years, 15 years actually. But the horse's foot broke off. So I've been kind of drilling into the horse's body. And this is just kind of a cool figure. This guy could work in some capacity, but I have to drill into a base and like stick him on the base with a metal pole or something, metal pin. So we'll see where that goes. This is another commander option, possibly paired with like a standard bearer from these guys. Okay, so here we've got some footsore figures. So they're from some commanders. So this was the guy I was originally thinking could be Julian. He could also might serve well as a commander of the cataphracts, potentially as well. With the fur cloak and everything, I thought he might be suitable, but I did put him on the barded horse, so that could be a good segue to, use him for the cataphract commander. We'll see. This guy is, again, from the cataphracts. He would go with that guy as the standard bearer. I was thinking, and then you could pair up this musician, and that would be a good command base. Okay, this figure is a figure that Ranger sent over to me and a bunch of different guys, the extras he had. This guy, I think, is going to be a commander of the baggage. So he'll be a kind of part of the baggage display, get those mules moving or whatever. So I got a couple other figures like that, pointing figures and stuff I think will go well with the baggage. He's some kind of whatever, a Roman, quartermaster or something, whoever is in charge of the baggage. I think he would play well in that role. Okay, this is a Aventine Miniatures Goth horseman. He looked, he's definitely got those barbarian elements to him, but he also looked to me, the kind of guy who could be a barbarian in Roman service or something like that, kind of Romanized barbarian to a certain extent. So he is another option. You can also see how well the Aventine and footsore guys go together. I think there's some slight sculpting differences, but I think they're almost like a perfect match. So I actually emailed Aventine Miniatures and I begged them to do some infantry goths, and they refused to do it. They said they weren't interested, and it's like, come on, guys. Please make some Gothic infantry, but they only do Gothic cavalry. They refuse to do the infantry, which is a shame. And also, if you're an Aventine Miniatures fan, you may have heard the news. Maybe you haven't. They're actually closing up shop next year, at the end of next year. So, and their website is currently down due to the number of orders they've received. So I know I'm going to have to stock up on these just in case something happens to the range. But anyways, enough rambling on that. Okay, we got some more Aventine Miniatures options here. And of course, I left them in the plastic bag, so one sec. Okay, sorry about that. So here we have got some Aventine Byzantine commanders. So this guy is one option for a general. So he does have the Kiro scepter or whatever that is. Probably not appropriate for Julian. I mean, maybe he would have used it in a pinch. So he was famously pagan. I mean, I think his paganism does have some different dimensions to it. So definitely in his earlier life, before he became emperor, Christianity was kind of the in religion at the time. Paganism was kind of going out. So he kind of hid his paganism to a certain extent, or wasn't as vocal about it. So maybe he would use that scepter just as a, whatever, just in the meantime or something. Could be a good figure for Constantine potentially, although that helmet, I mean, that's definitely a very like steppe tribe influenced helmet. You know, if it was a more classical Roman helmet, then it might fit better. All right, so we got this guy with super ornate helmet. I think this guy would make for an excellent infantry commander for sure. This guy bearing the cross, you know, maybe not what Julian would have chosen for his standard. Okay, this guy looks like a pretty good high-ranking foot officer. I think he'd be a good addition to a base. So I also have this Byzantine commander. So this one, to me, looks very Persian influenced and just looks like way too late for this project. Just like the armor styles and stuff. Plus he's got the quivers of arrows. Like this, this is not really, to me, doesn't scream 4th century. This looks kind of later than that to me. And yeah, very Persian-y steppe in style, you know, styled armor, which I don't think the Romans were really using at that point. So those are some command options. I think, you know, these two figures would be awesome to see them on a command base. These other guys, what role they'll play, I'm not sure. I'm still kind of thinking it through. But that is what I've got for the update today. 30 days till Strasbourg. So now, again, like if you didn't watch my update from yesterday, I am pretty much done with work. I mean, I've got some work that I'm doing from home right now. But that's kind of giving me the time to really finish out this project. So we got all this kind of crap to do. We've also got probably about, well, not probably, I know, I'm going to try and pay another 4 more warbands up. So 4 more warbands, 1 more unit of cavalry, and that would be pretty sweet.